I'm Sarah Burke, and this is the Women in Media podcast. So if I'm being honest, I was going to drop a solo episode this week and just give you a sneak peek of some of the new podcasts launching on Women in Media Network this fall. Tell you about a research project that I'm working on with a colleague in the podcast space that I'm really excited about and I think is really important. And just, hash out some more entrepreneurial lessons learned thus far in 2025. And all of that will still come, in the next few weeks. But I thought I would take the opportunity to introduce you to someone working very hard behind the scenes here at Women in Media Network, who quite literally allowed me to take a proper vacation this summer. And I thought it would be really interesting to take a look at the podcast industry and what's happening with the media through her eyes. She has done everything from recording sessions to post-production and even a little social media with Women in Media Network. I'd like to introduce you to my junior producer, Maddison Buckingham. Thank you so much for being here. How are we feeling today?
Good. Thank you so much for having me on.
I talk a lot about how much I've learned from mentors in the industry and, just people that I really respect. And one of those people is you. I've learned a lot about video editing. I've learned a lot about just how the next generation is consuming content through you. And we don't talk about that a lot. So I wanted to say thank you. So I do want to go back in time to when you knew you wanted to get into broadcasting, where you went to school, the program you went to, and what made you want to go into it.
Okay, yeah. So I've always loved sports. And I've also always loved performing. Yeah, you get me. Yeah. I'm a Leafs fan like you, even though I'm all the way in BC.
Sorry.
I know, it's tough. It's a rough life for us. But yeah, I've always been really inspired by seeing all these women on the sidelines in the action. Specifically, Erin Andrews is an icon. She's probably the main one that I was like, oh, she always looks so good. She is so knowledgeable. She's there. She's a part of it. And that was something that kind of led me into why can't I do that?
Yeah. Erin Andrews, for those who don't know, is?
Yes. So she is one of the NFL, Fox Network's sideline reporter for the NFL. So she goes in and does interviews for multiple teams. Mm-hmm. She does a lot for the NFC East. So she's really great for really engaging content and a familiar face.
Does that mean you're a big football fan?
I am one of those also.
Okay. Who's your team?
Basically the same version of the team. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan.
I thought you were going to say Bills. I was going for Bills.
No, you know what? That's my second team.
Okay.
So when my team, screws up, that's where it goes. Yeah. But yeah, it's a rough life.
So you love the idea of doing some sort of reporting in the action in sports, and you are currently working in sports. So quickly tell us where you went to school in the program, by the way, again.
So I went to BCIT, British Columbia Institute of Technology, and they have a broadcast and online journalism program. It's a 2-year program, and there's 3 internships built into it. So I actually got to do some sport-related stuff before ultimately working for a team.
Okay, and now you work for said team, which is?
I actually work for 2 this season because there's a new one joining our league, so that's exciting.
Amazing.
2 teams this year. So it's the Pacific Junior Hockey League, and it's really cute. There's a bunch of kids, oldest ones are 20. So I talk to them and how's your day going? They're always so nervous. But it's awesome. It's so much fun to work with them. And as I get older, I'm more like, oh, so cute, Don't worry.
Yeah.
So there's the White Rock Whalers, which I've been with for 3 years now. And then this year there's the Cloverdale Hockey Club that's coming along. So.
Okay. And what is it that you do with the team?
So I do a lot.
I know.
It's one of those umbrella things, right? I'm technically their rink side reporter, but I also am on social media. I do a lot of video content for social media. I do interviews primarily, and then I also am doing sales this year for sponsorships.
Okay. My God, I didn't touch sales until last year, and I got some
crazy.
time on you.
I'm intimidated by it, but
I was too, and I think so many people would say that. But once you realize that it's about knowing what you're selling and how well you know that thing, that kind of leads to success. Wouldn't you say that's fair?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're passionate about it, then you
Yeah.
can translate that.
Okay. What's your most challenging situation in the role that you're in?
Probably that it's difficult to work with the technology with such a small team. So there's a lot of hiccups with that sometimes, but it's not that big of a deal because it's a smaller league. So it's just parents mostly watching. So
Yeah.
if something goes wrong, it's not the end of the world. It's not the NHL, but it happens. And then I feel like the dummy because I'm like talking into a mic that's not on.
Oh no.
Yeah, it happens a lot, but it's okay. We're getting better every time.
Yeah.
That probably, and then also I would say it's challenging to get young people to answer questions in a way that an adult maybe would. So you're not getting as much out of them.
Well, so I was in your province, being the in-game host for World Juniors when they were in Vancouver and Victoria in, I think it was the 2019. Like it was 2018, 2019, but it was going into January 2019. And, you've got some big star players that are very excited to be playing in World Juniors, right? And then you get them on the mic and it's like, yeah, we're just following the puck.
Yeah,
It's the same
pucks in
answer.
deep.
It's the same, like literally the same interview every time. So as much as I would like to believe it gets better with age, I think
No, you're absolutely right.
some of the guys in the NHL, they've had so much media training to get them to even give you two sentences, right? So
Yeah, it's true.
yeah. So, but I understand that challenge, and that's where it's like, you got to say something that interests them to really
Yes.
pull something out of them. So that's
Yeah.
interesting. Okay. And I remember, one of the first conversations that you and I had, we should talk about how we got connected. Is that
So
okay?
cute.
Is that okay?
Yeah, of
Okay.
course.
So Maddie's mom is a listener of the Jan Arden podcast and heard me talking about launching this network and pieced together that I was a one woman show and like in pretty deep. And yeah, so when Maddie reached out, I was like pretty excited about, her, first of all, her love of sports and her video editing and like just her comfort around like chaos, I would say. But yeah, when I needed help, you have come in so clutch. So thank you for that.
I'm so happy I could help.
Yeah, and we'll talk about some of the stuff you're doing for the network too. But you had sent me a demo along, and it was kind of like some of your video editing work. You had done a documentary. Do you mind refreshing my memory on that documentary?
Yeah, so that was a really exciting project. At the end of the program at BCIT, you have to create a documentary with a group of maximum 4 people. So me and 3 other colleagues got together and we were like, we really want to tell a story about women kicking ass, essentially. So
Yeah.
what we landed on was this dragon boating team
Mhm.
called Abreast in a Boat. And it's a group of women who have all had breast cancer. So it was really powerful, really moving stuff. You didn't have to push hard to get really awesome answers. They were so authentic with us. And I felt like there was a really good mutual connection, which helped us tell the story really well.
Yeah.
It ended up so well that we ended up submitting it to an awards, like the Jack Webster Awards, which is a journalism award show,
Mhm.
last fall. And yeah, we were actually like taken in as one of 3 nominations at the show. So that was great. And
Very cool.
insider knowledge, we came in second by like 3 votes out of 20. So
Oh my God.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was close. And honestly, for a student project, that's more than we could ask for.
Oh, and it was up against, if this was not a student journalism
No,
award.
this is legit. Like
Okay.
CBC was up there. I think CBC won. Yeah, all the big
Wow.
names. Really cool.
Wow. Congrats. I didn't know about that inside scoop, but congratulations. That's
Thank you.
amazing. Yeah. So what do you see like coming out of school now? How long has it been since you graduated?
It's been a year, a bit over a year.
Because like the sentiment that I'm hearing out there, whether it's through friends who have kids who just graduated, or, I've taught, at Western in the podcasting sort of course that they were doing. And, it really feels like a hard time to be trying to get into media because jobs are shrinking, not expanding, right? Like all the roles that there used to be available when I was coming out of school, like I graduated 2010. And, Yeah, I just think the jobs that I A would have been able to apply for, and B, the ways that you can get experience even if you weren't like hired officially, those options have changed drastically since 2010. So how are you feeling about that? How has it been? Like, obviously you and I were working together like very casually in your junior producer role, and I, by the way, there's podcasts coming to the network this fall. There will be more work coming. But yeah, like I know it's hard out there. So tell me a little bit about that experience.
Well, I think it's just the workforce in general right now. I think you're
Okay.
seeing a bit of the economy reacting and everyone having to hire less people because of that and take longer to hire people. I've done a handful of interviews, and every time I like to ask, I like to improve myself, why didn't I get a role? They said you didn't do anything wrong. It's just there's someone better out there for it. So it's just really a picky time.
Yeah.
Employers aren't, just bringing people on and seeing how they do. They're really being careful with their decisions, and sometimes it's just like that one thing that they have above you, like one extra set of education or experience doing
Yeah.
something else before. So I'd say it's the hardest thing is to just be given like a shot,
Yeah.
because they say you're like properly trained, and you'll go into the internships and they're like, yeah, you're killing it, but we just don't have a
Yeah.
spot for you right now. So that's challenging.
Yeah.
It's patience. I think that's the biggest thing I can give as
Yeah.
advice to people graduating, is that I was freaking out.
Hmm.
I was like applying to everything. Like, why? Like, this has been the hardest to get a job. Mind you, all my other jobs have been like customer service. So that's
Yeah.
one of those things that like they just mass hire. But yeah, I was freaking out for a bit, and now I'm kind of getting my footing. But I have realized that, like I've said, I have a job for 2 hockey teams, but I'm doing like 8 jobs, like.
Yeah, and I remember it was like that for me too. Like in my first year working in radio. So yes, I did like the summer cruiser job. I don't know if that job exists anymore. Have you seen postings for it? Like where you drive a radio station vehicle around, like representing the radio station for the summer, hand out free swag.
Yeah, it's called something different now, but yeah, essentially go and sometimes you set up like a
Community
tent.
cruiser.
Yeah, community outreach or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very part-time hours. Again, that's another
Yeah.
thing, is there's very few full-time jobs
Yes.
available to apply for.
Yeah. So I remember I did that for the summer. At the same time, they like trained me to do like remote setups because I wasn't like intimidated by the tech. I was like, bring it on. It's fine. So that puts you in the promo department and gives you maybe some legs after the summer. I did front desk. I did some web stuff. At the time, updating a website was like very simple. In 2010, it was pretty easy to like fill in for the web person for a week. I remember doing that. Like, news, I did some news, like the 5 a.m. newscast while I was still in school. Like I did get I guess my foot in the door pretty early in that sense. But yeah, what would be your dream job? You want to do like sideline reporting for like a major league sport? Is that it?
That would be number one, and then I feel like I like a good like umbrella I've been really enjoying actually more is social media, because there's just
Oh,
so much you can do with it. Like you can follow memes to make it a trending thing, there's just a lot that you can do, and I kind of like capturing content and editing it. So that's something I've been finding I didn't think I would like to do, but I do that. And then another thing that would be really cool is to work on like a reality show. Like
okay.
editing that, producing that. That would be cool.
Okay. Okay. Just if we have any media people who are looking for hire, get in touch. I can put you in touch with Maddie. Um, I should mention too. So Maddie's just started to do some social media for the Jan Arden podcast because we're trying to dedicate more time to our socials. That's what's so funny. Like I think there was a time in broadcasting where you could say, yeah, that person's also going to do socials. There's absolutely like it can be always its own job now, right? It's so much work. There's so much to put into it, whether it's like, how does the cover image look and the graphic that goes with it? Or again, following trends, like you said, right? Like if there's a meme going around, how do you capitalize on making your own meme to go with that, right?
Yeah, tie it in.
Tie it in. We're not really big memers at the Jen Arden podcast, but yeah, like it's all valid. And your video editing. So, what subjects, topics are you most interested in right now if you move into the content creation world a little more?
Oh, that's such a
Like
good question.
not answering from the Jan Arden perspective, but from your own like personal tastes.
Right. Like if I were to like start like my
Yeah.
own account kind of thing or a podcast.
Yeah, I mean, she's on social media and you can follow for great like updates from the weekend concert, but I enjoyed.
Every song.
I was
Don't
like
worry. You didn't go. I got you.
I was like, she videotaped the whole concert. No.
Literally.
But yeah, like if you were creating content that was like standalone and you were, going to take on that role as like a content creator under your own name, what do you think you'd be creating content about?
I've always joked about starting a podcast with some friends.
Yeah.
I think it's good to talk about just maybe like the young person experience, like someone in their 20s. There's lots of stuff going on, especially with like this social media technology age. That would be interesting to talk about. Just kind of stuff like imposter syndrome and
Oh yeah.
toxic friendships. I think that would be a good one because I feel like I could bring anyone on to talk about that, you know?
Yeah. Do you experience ageism ever?
Not directly, but I feel like it might have came into play. Like no one
Passive
ever
aggressively.
explicitly said, yeah, it's natural to assume that I don't have that much knowledge because of my age, but I did have a leg up. I was a little bit older than a lot of the people in my program. So I feel like that might have been refreshing to them when I came in, but still not to the degree of like, oh, I trust you with my life, you know?
Yeah. Same thing for me too. I was a year behind because I like switched my decision of what school I was going to go to. Like I dropped out of Carleton, worked for a year and then got back out there. And yeah, so it made me a year older than like everyone in my program. And I mean, it's only a year, but some of the stuff that they were going to with the like the fake IDs and all this stuff, I was like, oh my God.
I don't have the time.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. By the way, if you want to start that podcast with your friends, you got places to test it out. Just saying.
I love that. Thank you. I'll stay in touch.
we gotta get you a better microphone from the one you told me you have. But other than that, I think you're ready.
I think so.
How do you feel like public facing, like speaking on the mic? Like I know you doing this podcast is like you're normally behind the scenes doing a lot of production, but when it comes to the hockey stuff, you're, maybe on camera, right? How do you do with like when there's an audience versus behind the scenes?
I do well. I grew up on a stage, so
Okay.
I have experience, having an audience. It's but it never really goes away, that stage fright. Like I get kind of like antsy before I go on, but I enjoy it and I get off and it was like a rush. I'm
So
just like
what'd you do growing up? What stage?
I danced.
Oh, I did too.
That was most of it. Yeah, right, the best.
Okay.
I didn't have to talk, so that was different. But then I went into theater when I was in high school and I really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Were you in like the school plays and that kind of stuff?
Yeah. Beauty and the
Totally.
Beast, top tier moment of high school.
I love that. Okay. What about your experience as a woman? I know like you're, just getting started in the industry, but have you experienced anything alarming?
Thankfully not.
Good.
Nothing that like stood out as like a why are you here? You don't deserve to be here kind of situation.
Yeah.
But I do feel like it's easier for my male colleagues. Like I see them make connections easier and just I don't know. Guys do this weird thing where they won't know each other's name, but they'll have like a whole conversation and know
Yeah,
like
man.
right, yeah, they're like, oh, it's my best friend. I'm like, what's his name? Right. So I witnessed that kind of because I work with my boyfriend. He's one of the two main broadcasters. He does color. And then his best friend, also one of my best friends, does play by play. And I see them talk to guys just, it's so natural. Where with me, I feel like I have to be like, don't worry, open up. Like,
Yeah.
coming in. Right.
Yeah.
So it's not like I've been like cast aside, but I can see it's easier for them, especially in sports.
You mentioned imposter syndrome. Is there a moment you've experienced that lately that you wouldn't mind talking about?
I mean, honestly, all throughout the past year, I just started to get to a point where I'm like, okay, things are coming along. I'm building experience outside of school. But yeah, for the first 6 months out of school, I was like, I just crushed it in this program. Like I graduated with honors. My documentary was up for an award. I got the 3 internships I wanted. Like things are going so well. I'm going to get a job like right away. Like I know it. And yeah, it freaked me out when it was way harder to do.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And that's why I think like doing as much as you can and piecing it together right now is the best the best you can do to build experience in so many different areas. And look at you, like a year later. When did we even have our first meeting? Now you're working with the Jan Art and Social team. Like, that's cool.
It's amazing. That's come a long way in
that's
like,
a nice,
what, 8 months?
That's a nice little resume builder. Just saying.
Yeah, jack of all trades. Here you go.
I know. I feel like I had to kind of approach things that way too. I think you also have a leg up, your generation, because of just the way that you see the world. And I'm so interested to know what's something you think media is doing so wrong right now, like mainstream media.
Oh, that's so hard.
I know that's a big question. Could be an entire podcast.
Yeah. Oh my God. Wait, hold on. Let me think. What are they doing wrong? I don't know if they're doing anything wrong. I think we're in like a transitional period where they're trying to keep up with the trends and are recognizing that less people are, not that I want to be in news anymore, but are watching TV less. Sports is one of those things. That's part of why I'm like, I want to go into sports, is you're always going to watch sports on TV. The chances of you going to a game are slim. That's never going to die, right? Like even if it's on stream. But yeah, I think we're just kind of in a tough point right now where they're trying to decide like what jobs make sense to have anymore. Yeah. And it's going more online. And so they're trying to build new roles. And a lot of them are kind of a combination of two, or like they're keeping one person on. They don't know exactly what it looks like yet. And they haven't seen the positive outcome of changing over to this new online world. If they fully transition into that, I feel like the business would just be doing better, and then they'd be hiring more. I think we're just right in between of them getting settled into this new age.
So who do you watch these days? Who do you listen to these days? Like what are some of your favorite mediums to consume? And you don't have to say podcasting.
Well, I don't have a ton of time because I'm making so much of it. Not to,
so like me, when you go to walk the dog, you're like, I don't want to turn anything on right now.
Honestly, yeah. Or music, maybe, just because it's like a station thing. But when I do laundry, actually, my go-to, I don't even finish episodes. Like sometimes I'll listen to like 20 minutes and then I'll pick it up again later. I love Call Her Daddy. That's probably like the first podcast I ever listened to. Yeah, right? Like you get it.
Well, and it's funny because like, I'm sure you love Call Her Daddy for many of the same reasons that I love Call Her Daddy. But like, I'll be honest, when I remember the moment that a girlfriend of mine said, oh, you got to listen to this, it's a hoot kind of thing. And I put it on and I thought it was kind of raunchy. And I was like, okay, like it felt shock jockey, right? Have you watched the documentary, by the way?
I just started it.
Okay.
So I'm like a couple episodes in.
Okay. Well, I think is there 2 or 4?
Is there? I think there's a couple more.
Yeah, there's only a couple. Yeah. And I think like she kind of talks about that shock jock thing in the documentary, but once I started thinking about my own business, when I got in that headspace is when I started admiring what she's done, right? Like she's built Unwell. I mean, that's the first part of it. She's seeking out talent, recruiting talent. And I mean, she has a lot more money than I do, but like you can see the business and you can also see the person and the journey she's been on from, raunchy shock jock to great interviewer.
Amazing interviews. So many times do you hear at the end, wow, that was the best.
And there you have it. Life through the eyes of Women in Media Network's junior producer, Maddison Buckingham. She has been an incredible help. You can find some of her work at womeninmedia.network. And if you want to check out the documentary that she mentioned during this conversation, you will find it in the show notes. As I said at the beginning of the show, I've got some new network podcasts that I will tell you about really soon. But until then, thank you so much for listening. Make sure you're subscribed on your favorite podcast app, and I'll talk to you in a few weeks.
And that's just crazy. And, it makes you wonder, let's hear her side, because I'm sure we're missing some information here, right? It's not so simple.
Cool. And so that's podcast. What about, like, what are your favorite TV shows? Do you listen to radio? I'm curious. Do you?
No, honestly. I'll be honest. Like, it's not my generation. That's why I'm saying that this media landscape is changing so much, and we're just going through that transition. But I do watch a lot of TV. I like to rewatch shows. Yeah. But I do enjoy reality TV too. So when that comes out, like I am a sucker for the one where they're Love is Blind.
Okay.
I love that one. I love Survivor. I've rewatched every episode. Then there's like 45, 47, 48 now.
And do you watch television on a television? You can understand why I'm asking that question. Okay.
Yeah, like not on my phone or like streaming it. Well, I stream it, but actually we do some Telus TV, especially for sports. But yeah, it's on a TV. We watch it as a family.
Call her daddy. Is it listening or watching?
A mix.
Okay.
Depends.
I'm doing my own research right now about your habits. That's so funny. A dream guest that you would love to interview in whatever medium, whether it's a podcast or TV.
Oh,
who would you choose?
So hard.
Yeah.
Oh my God, give me a second. Who would I want to interview? That is like the hardest question ever.
I know.
Oh my God. I don't know. Maybe, Alex Cooper, because she's doing what I want to do, right?
Give her my number when you're done, please.
I will pass it on. We'll all become besties. It'll be great.
See if she's interested in women in media. I'm joking.
That'd be awesome.
What has been your biggest lesson learned in the time we've been working together?
To be adaptable, I think.
Ooh.
I think in school, like I did a lot of projects similar with, when you submit it, they give you the feedback and you don't redo it. And here it's like, oh, you know what, consider this. And I think it's not always like a copy and paste of what you learn in school. And it's important to know, like, I think it's really good to work with a client kind of situation because everyone has different tastes of what they want it to look or sound like. So
yeah. So interesting. And what about on the technical side?
The sound. And you know that.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to lead you into it, but like, well, I am curious though, because like, I'll be straight up with you. I didn't learn proper sound engineering in school, right? Like on the journalism side, it was kind of like, this is the best it will get from your little recorder that you have. And it was about it being like, just like you could hear it.
Yeah, they told you to balance the audio level, so it's not like, but other than that, none of the fine tuning now.
Yeah. So, I mean, don't feel bad because I didn't learn that stuff either. But, I've had some really great people willing to help me along the way who have sort of,
Yeah, it's true.
For those listening, that was a point at me, which I feel honored to work with someone like you, though, because like I said, I've had to learn a lot of video things from you. And I can only hope that, you're learning something in this process too. So we are
100%.
helping each other out. Okay. Yeah. If you have listened to any other episodes of this podcast, then you know that it ends with a sort of passing of the torch. Who would you suggest as a future guest on Women in Media? Someone you admire, someone you think has a really interesting story to maybe share?
It'd be really awesome to talk to someone in the PWHL.
Yes,
especially the Vancouver League, because that's a new team, or the team in Vancouver. It'd be really interesting to hear of some of the expansion players.
Who have I think the closest I've got to that, it was Soraya Tinker.
Okay, very cool.
But she's not like playing anymore. She's like broadcasting and doing other stuff with I think her title was like something with DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion.
So whoever you can get, do it.
Yeah. Amazing. I feel like that would be such an aligned, cool gig for you if we could get you a gig with the PWHL. Oh my God.
Right? Fingers crossed. It's right there now. So that'd be amazing.
Well, thank you, Maddie, for your time, because I know you have editing to do and shopping to do. But yeah, it's been really cool working with you. And
ditto.
Yeah, appreciate everything you're doing for Women in Media Network.
Thank you. You're amazing.
And there you have it. Life through the eyes of Women in Media Network's junior producer, Maddison Buckingham. She has been an incredible help. You can find some of her work at womeninmedia.network. And if you want to check out the documentary that she mentioned during this conversation, you will find it in the show notes. As I said at the beginning of the show, I've got some new network podcasts that I will tell you about really soon. But until then, thank you so much for listening. Make sure you're subscribed on your favorite podcast app, and I'll talk to you in a few weeks.